Programming languages, the tools we use to create the digital world, solve complex problems, and make life easier. Well, most of the time. But today, we're looking at the languages that do the exact opposite. The ones that exist purely to torment your brain or make you laugh. If you've ever wanted to write code that looks like a meme, a recipe, or Shakespearean poetry, this is the list for you. Let's dive into the top 5 programming languages that are so hilariously impractical, you'll wonder why they even exist. Some languages were designed to solve problems, others to push the limits of human creativity. And then there's this elite class, languages that were designed to make absolutely no sense at all. We're talking about the LOLs, the WTFs, and the "who thought this was a good idea" languages. Let's start with one that every internet troll would love. Coming in at number 5 is lolcode, the language of lolcats. Yes, you heard that right. This language is written like a 2008 meme come to life. Imagine writing hi instead of hello, thanks bye instead of end, and commands like icon has variable to declare variables. Loops are controlled by phrases like I am in your loop. And if you want to make an if statement, you say, oh really? It's basically icon has cheeseburger meets coding. The kicker? It's actually Turing complete, meaning you could theoretically write a whole program in it. But let's be real, you'd probably lose all your friends in the process. Next, we have a language that would make your high school English teacher proud, the Shakespeare programming language. This one turns your code into a full-on Shakespearean play. You define variables as characters like Romeo and Juliet, and instead of add or subtract, you declare things like, Romeo, thou art as lovely as Juliet. A loop might look something like Act 1, Scene 2, enter Hamlet and Ophelia. And if you're doing it right, by the end, your code reads like a cross between Hamlet and Monty Python. The only downside? If you don't have a minor in literature, good luck debugging this thing. Ever wanted to turn your code into a gourmet recipe? Welcome to Chef, the language where programs look like 5-star recipes. In Chef, variables are ingredients and commands are cooking instructions. Instead of print, you might see, put chocolate chips into the mixing bowl. Want to store a value? Add sugar to the recipe. You can even specify the number of servings, which acts as the output. The only downside? By the end, you might be more hungry than productive. At number 2, we've got Piet, the language named after abstract artist Piet Mondrian. Instead of lines of code, you write with colors. Each color represents a command, and if your code looks like a modern art masterpiece, you're probably doing it right. In Piet, you literally create programs by painting. Combine red, yellow, and blue blocks, and voila, you have a Hello World program that looks like it belongs in a museum. Practical? Not at all. Fun? 100%. If you want to feel like both a programmer and an artist, this is the language for you. And finally, at number 1, we have the infamous brainfuck. The language so complicated, it's right there in the name. Brainfuck uses just 8 commands to manipulate an array of memory cells, which sounds simple enough, until you realize every single operation is essentially a mind-bending puzzle. No variables, no functions, just pure suffering. It was created as an experiment in minimalism, but let's be honest, it's a code that exists solely to melt your brain. Writing anything useful in brainfuck is an accomplishment on par with completing a marathon barefoot in the desert while juggling flaming swords. So, there you have it, the top 5 most hilariously useless programming languages that will either make you laugh or cry. Have you tried any of these? Drop a comment below if you're brave enough to admit it, and let me know if there are any other languages that deserve a spot on this list. Thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe for more programming curiosities, and I'll see you in the next one.